Today's episode of the Retail Is podcast is sponsored by Russell's Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Russell's is a family-owned and operated company that offers prompt, reliable, and courteous service for homes and businesses throughout the Hampton Roads area. Their experienced and superbly trained team can diagnose, repair, install, and maintain just about any heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical component in your home. From traditional to high-tech, they can keep your home cozy and comfortable all year long. You can reach them at russellshvac.com. Our guest today is Patti Howell with Hickory Trading Company. Patti, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Hickory Trading Company and what you guys do?
Okay. Well, Hickory Trading Company is a coffee shop. It's an artisan gift shop. It's a bistro. It's a lot of things all in one place. But we're located in the Great Bridge area on Johnstown Road, and we serve locally roasted coffee, lattes. We have paninis and crepes and all kinds of yummy foods, and we're getting ready to expand the menu going into evening hours soon.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
One of our coworkers was just saying that she got a great sandwich from you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. That's what we like to hear.
I'm sure Joey would love to have some of the coffee there too.
Oh, I could use some actually. I need a little red button to push.
Yeah. So you didn't mention it's Chesapeake for those people who don't know that area.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Chesapeake. But I know a little while ago we were talking about, so we did some media coverage for you about your, there's different elements to your business. It sort of all works together, but I don't know whether you could just sort of explain and sort of pull it apart a little bit for us.
I think it always helps anybody I try to explain the concept to our business. I think it helps to kind of preface it by, I am severely attention deficit. I have ADD to the max, and it kind of shows. If you ever want to know what it's like, you kind of come here and look around. But it's a really cool place. So it's a very rustic vibe, and we wanted to support the community, so we have local artwork. And I used to, when I was a teacher, I'll tell you about that. But I used to do local. I still do lots of wood turning and painting and copper work. So it's kind of what inspired me to have the local artwork inside the shop. And like I said, it has the coffee, and we have food.
And you sell the artwork, and that money goes back to the actual people who put it in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been around?
We started in November of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. And
what made you decide to open up?
Well, I was a teacher and school principal before this. So I was in the education field for 26 years. And
wow.
Sounds like kind of an odd transition, but when I was teaching the last 10 years, I was working with those on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And that was probably the hardest job I've ever done. I've been a school principal. I've been an interpreter for deaf and hard of hearing. I taught elementary, middle school, high school. Then when I moved to Chesapeake, Virginia, the only job that was open in August was the autism classroom. Mm-hmm. So that's where I started. And it was the first time in my teaching career where I ever felt like I was failing. I didn't feel like my kids were connected to me. They didn't know, they weren't making progress. So the journey from, I began to take a lot of training and workshops, and even one of my students, their home therapist, ABA therapist, offered to come in and help me. And that was kind of funny. She said, I'm willing to come in and help you, just give you some tools in your tool belt. And I'm like, oh, yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
And administration said, no.
No. Why was that?
Well, you can't have outside people come in. So I did what only any rational person would do. I snuck her in the back door. So she helped me all year, and she was a godsend, truly. But that launched this. I went on to become a registered behavior technician, and this became my thing. I started doing weekend socials with my families, so I could model how to interact with children. They could practice the social skills and behavioral skills that they learned in the classroom. They could practice them in the real world. Because what we were seeing is now that I've changed and I have some more skills, my students, their behaviors are really amazing. Their social skills are improving. But when they leave the classroom and they go home, they're not able to make that application into the real world setting. So this is the beginning of the inspiration for Hickory Trading Company.
Okay.
I love teaching, and so I wasn't really ever going to be willing to give that up, but I knew I had to do something different. I saw the need. So Hickory Trading Company, the coffee shop and artisan gift shop, its sole purpose, the whole reason that it exists, is to provide me with a real world classroom. So I use the coffee shop and the gift shop as my avenue to teach those with special needs life skills and job skills, social skills. And I do a ton of advocacy on top of it. When school is going, I probably do 20 IEP meetings a week, helping families get the services that they need.
So with the Hickory Trading Company, do you employ those with needs? Is that how you do that?
We employ, well, we have kind of a mix. We have those, those without any necessarily any disabilities work in the coffee shop. And then we employ job coaches, so somebody that can work alongside of a student. Then once our students graduate the program, then they're eligible for employment, true employment in the shop. And so quite a few of our people are graduates of the program, but you wouldn't necessarily you wouldn't necessarily know. It's just.
Let's back up a little bit. Tell us about the program, because I know about the Hickory Trading Company side with the coffee shop and the restaurant and everything and the gift shop. But what is this program you're talking about?
Well, we do a job coaching and a life skills program. So we have some students that are here. Maybe their long-term goal is not necessarily to be employed, but they still have they have so much to give back to us. They have so much to offer the community. So they will come in, and it's sort of like a day program. And if you know anything about day programs, there's a few around where individuals with a disability can interact with others and have some programming. But this one's kind of different because they're here. We're not just doing puzzles or activities, and we are still feeding in and teaching those critical life skills, because our goal is for everybody to have the most independence that they possibly can have. And then there's the program that's the job training program, and that's for students who need the confidence, the social skills, and they need that specialized environment where they can learn job skills. So we support everything with like visual backup. We break each task down. We do a task analysis. So we break down. If I want somebody to make a latte, I have that broken down with visual picture steps.
Okay.
And then after they learn it, they don't need it anymore. But for some, that's critical. So if you were just to kind of show them and tell them, they would perhaps get overwhelmed. If you can break it down visually, they do it a few times, they don't need paper anymore. So it's just a specialized environment that we can train.
Yeah.
And they can take those skills, and either work for us or take those skills and work, in a place that they want to work.
So the profits from I'm sorry, Kylie, I'll let you go in a second. But so the profits from the Hickory Trading Company, that goes to support this program?
100%. Yeah.
What's
all
the
profits
program?
support it's called the Hitching Post Educational Center.
Okay.
So all profits go to the nonprofit. Even half of the staff, maybe it's less than half now because we've been growing, but quite a bit of our staff is they're volunteers. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we have some employees, lots of volunteers.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, where do your students actually come from? Like, do you recruit them? Do they come through sort of the school system and get referred? Are they older? What sort of age group?
Well, they kind of come from a variety. We don't really recruit them. We have I think it's, just from my experience in the public school system, a lot of it has spread word of mouth. But they come from all over. Some students are still in school, and so they'll do the job training program like weekends and evenings. Some students they've graduated, some have graduated 10, 20 years ago and haven't found a program or anything for them to engage in. So it's kind of sad because there's not a lot out there once they graduate from high school. So mostly it spreads word of mouth. Of course, we have a social media presence and everything, but mostly it's just word of mouth.
Yeah, I think it's important because, back, even 20 years ago, the people who graduated back then, there was probably nothing that really helped them establish this sort of the life skills and job skills that you're doing. So I think it's very important.
And it's amazing to me though, because I can take just about every student that's come here, even maybe the parents and the students, they both come with this kind of this shadow over them. They don't feel like they are capable of a job. They just can't seem to find like they don't know their value. Like they have no idea. And so we start talking about the different jobs you'll learn in the shop. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. They're like, I can't do that. And the parents are like, I don't think you can do that. But you just give them just a little bit of time. And once, you have that very first success, look at you made a latte, and then success builds upon success. And with each success, confidence grows. And every single one of our students, it's a confidence issue.
So what do they do? Do they graduate and move on? I know you said you employ a couple of them with you, but do you have like success stories that that they've been able to be employed elsewhere?
Yeah, we've had several students. Now we've just started in 2017, but we have several students who are now employees here. We have one young man that started his own business, and now we are a client. Yeah, and we have exciting. Yeah, various jobs, but they've gotten jobs elsewhere. So yeah, it's amazing. It's very cool, and we have a couple that have now taken the step to go to college where they didn't before. They weren't sure that they could handle it, but a little bit of confidence, it just changes your whole outlook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, I mean, even for you having that confidence to start the business, after leaving, the school system and stuff.
Confidence or craziness.
Yeah.
That's a big step, a big change for you. Did you have your own struggles to sort of get up and running?
Oh my, yes. So I already mentioned I'm a little ADD. So I had no desire to ever own a business, and a restaurant, the least of my desires. I've always heard that's so hard. They were right. It's so hard. I didn't even like to open my own checkbook. I hate dealing with money and that kind of thing. Like it's just, so starting a business is just, that was not on my radar. But, I went around after I started to get the hang of things in the classroom. I'm feeling pretty good about, my students and their progress. So I started walking around saying, one day I'm going to open a comprehensive center that's going to provide this real life. But I promise you, I said it 1,000 times, but I promise you, not one time did I mean it. It was just talk, I don't know if anybody else does that, but it was just like I had the idea, but it wasn't like for me.
Yeah.
But it was Vision Sunday, 2017, the year that we opened this. It was Vision Sunday at church, and I went to Wave at the time in Virginia Beach, and I've been there, listening to the sermon, and all of a sudden he's talking to me. He's like quoting me. He's using my words. If you've been walking around saying that one day you're going to do this and one day, and my family's nudging me because it was literally the same words I had been saying like the last couple of years. He said, and if you have not acted on that, then you're standing in the will of God. Do you think so much of yourself that idea was yours, or he gave it to you. But then I kind of felt a little convicted, like, oh, that's really wasn't probably not my idea. So my husband and I, we had just gotten married that year. So we hadn't even been married a year before I resigned and opened up, the nonprofit and the business. So it's been a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. What made you decide as the coffee shop side for the profit side? Where did that come from?
I kind of batted around a ton of ideas. Of course, I love coffee, so that was up there. But I wanted a place that was going to invite the community in, because part of the problem, of course, is their confidence. The other part of the problem is that there's this perception that if you have autism or Down syndrome or you're deaf or hard of hearing or whatever it is, whatever label, that, oh, you have a disability, and, kind people will have some sympathy, but they won't have necessarily that expectation of greatness from them, or what can they gain from them. So I wanted a place where we could bring the community in so they could get to see and get to know our students and kind of change their view, and like, wow, that's a really talented young man or a young woman, and oh my god, so friendships have been made, and perceptions changed, because so many more people need to be. We need a lot of businesses offering job opportunities for those with disabilities. So that is just as big a part of the mission, is kind of change, make awareness and change perception.
I love to hear that. I think that's great. So what do you do for the community as far as the outside community, not your direct students or anything? What do you do with the community?
Oh, we do all kinds of things. When COVID hit and all the kids were out of school and not getting lunches, we did free lunches every day. We did that from the start of school closure, about a week after, and we did it all the way until school opened again. So every day families could come and pick up lunch for their family, or they could come on Monday and pick it up for the entire week. We do all kinds of concerts. We have a big concert coming up September the 11th, and that has Olivia Dyer and Outcry. But we do concerts periodically.
Where are they at?
They're usually, we set up a big stage right outside of our shop, and then we have indoor concerts. If it's a smaller venue, we'll do the concert right indoors, so you can have your coffee and hang out and
very cool,
listen to some music, and it is very nice.
Is that used as a fundraiser, or just something you do for the community?
It is. There's usually no charge for the concert, but we share our mission, and it's certainly, and we ask for donations, but it's usually just kind of like a bucket or something by the door. But concerts are always free, but it's a good opportunity for us to share what we're doing and bring awareness. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and every Thursday night from 7 to 8:30, we have Tabletop Thursday, and we play board games, Dungeons and Dragons, any kind of game you can imagine, card games, unusual card games, and we have food, we pop popcorn, and we just hang out. So that's a great opportunity for teens and adults, really, with any kind of unique need, or somebody who's not feeling like they have a good connection with friends or whatever. That's a great place to come and get connected.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is a super fun night. And we always love volunteers too. So anybody can really come out and jump in and play a game, jump in one of the games with our guys.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Do you have like a core customer base that, just keeps coming back?
To the coffee shop?
Yeah.
I don't know that we have a core group that are like regulars, daily. We see them almost daily, and that's been a really fun thing for me, because I think when I was teaching, and I'm not sure that I should admit this, but when I was teaching, things were so hard sometimes. Teachers really do have a tough job. There's so many demands, and your heart is to teach these kids and But the reality of it is there's so much paperwork that really doesn't make any impact on what I'm doing in the classroom. That takes, so there's this, so I'd have to say that it, it's maybe a little cynical when I was at the end of it. I'm like, I was just getting kind of frustrated with the system kind of thing. So when I started this, I've just been blown away, overwhelmed by the goodness of people. We're in an amazing community. Now I know all these amazing people that I see all the time. They come in, they visit and chat. I know their stories and their families. They know mine, and so we have a wonderful customer base who are so generous too. They'll leave notes or don't tuck donations away, and so we're so blessed here. We really are.
Yeah. And do you have plans to sort of expand the space or move into a larger, building?
Well,
like what's future plans?
So and from 2017 until this past August, we were just one little tiny space. So in August, we took over the next two shops. So we tripled our space. So we just finished an expansion.
That's awesome.
Upstairs, we added a full nail salon. We added a massage therapist and a photography studio. So you can come in and have your coffee. We are now serving beer and wine. So you can come in and grab a glass of wine. Then you can go up and get your nails done or get a massage.
You really are all over the place. I love it.
ADD at its finest.
Are these or part of the same group? Like do they just lease the space from you and you offer that, or is that actually part of Hickory Trading Company?
So they leased the space from us, which helped us to expand on the first floor because the second floor was difficult for some of our guys, our students. Mm-hmm. But we were very careful about who we leased that space to because we wanted to lease it to those that also bought into our vision and our mission. So our students now can go in and work with, they go into like the nail salon and check on them to see if they need help or just they hang out and chat. So it is, even though it's just they lease this space, they become part of the team and the family. So it's been a really, really good fit.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you lease or did you purchase that where you are?
We lease it. We were just getting ready to purchase it, or we had plans, and I talked to the landlord about purchasing, but with COVID and closures and things, we put that on hold right now. So we are leasing, until things straighten out and we get some stability back.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. Well, because the last thing I heard was that it was still just a small space. So that's awesome that you've been able to expand.
Yeah,
we sort of knock down the walls and put some more tables through there or something. Did you as well?
Yes, that's all we do is knock down walls. And we also put in a full commercial kitchen now. So we knocked down quite a bit of. We've done. We like to build. We've been building since we opened, but we're about done for a while. But yeah.
Well, we are running close on time. Kylie, did you have anything you wanted to bring up, or Patty, anything that you'd like to mention before we get to the end?
So I just wanted to ask about the tree house.
That's what I was going to bring up. So in my backyard, I live about 5 minutes from the coffee shop, and in my backyard, my husband built this amazing tree house. It has heat and air conditioning, wraparound Anderson windows, has a suspension bridge. And he originally built it for his boys, but kids, they use things for long. Then it became my tutoring and my tutoring classroom when I was teaching and, weekend events with families. But now we use it as a fundraiser. So we do weddings, we do photography, but we also do usually twice a month. We're getting ready to start back up in September. Twice a month, we'll do dinners. So we can do 3 seatings and it's 6 couples at a time. 3 couples, 6 people. And we serve a very high-end, beautiful meal. And at the end of your meal, it's a 6-course meal too, by the way. It's an over-the-top meal. And at the end of it, you can have a bonfire and hang out as long as you want to. It's a beautiful setting, and that's entirely fundraisers. We have volunteers are serving, the students are serving.
Wow.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a photo of it and it looked awesome. I was like, yeah, that's a nice special occasion spot. I know you did very well like around Valentine's Day. I think was the last time we
Yeah, I think 47 dinners, something like that we did on Valentine's. Yes, that was amazing though. But that since Valentine's Day, it's been every other weekend. So we took the month of August off. It was just been so hot. And
yeah.
I think it's well deserved to take a bit of a break.
Yeah, but we're ready to start again soon.
Well, I think it's, whereas the cooler months sort of come in, because as you said, you can heat it as well and have the bonfire. I think that'd be, perfect weather for it down here.
The fall is the best time, it's sitting out by the bonfire after your dinner and roasting marshmallows. The fall I love the fall anyway.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, all right. Well, I'll be booking that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Awesome.
All
thanks,
right.
Patty.
Well, thank you so much, Patti, for being on the show today. It was great talking to you and learning about the Hickory Trading Company and all the great things you're doing.
Well, thank you guys both for having me. It's been fun.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right. You've been listening to the Retail Is podcast. If you've enjoyed what you heard, you can find more at retailalliance.com/retail-is-podcast, or you can search YouTube for Retail Alliance. I'm Joey Morgan.
And I'm Kylie Ross-Sybert.
Thanks for listening.